man. I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat. Showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me. Cause that's who I am.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Willard. No, that was the wrong one. Brought to you by What's Up? Nope, that's the wrong one. CSI Mechanical post-game show.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, get them all right here in a little bit. But I want to welcome everybody to the post-game show. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Dennis Davis. We've got scores and more to give you. That we still got some games going on, folks. Right now, Burns, it was 35-35. And then Burns scored 2 in a row, and then East Gaston just threw a pick 6 for 3 straight Burns scores. So the Bulldogs have pulled away a little bit. They're up 2 scores late. It was East Gaston was up earlier and pretty much the whole game battling back and forth. So right now, 98 points in Lawndale. And the Bulldogs have the ball, it looks like, near, I said half court.
That's L.A. They up there in L.A.
They in L.A.
Yeah, they in L.A.
So they're on the 46-yard line. Bulldogs have the ball. 3:18 to play. And for you folks watching online, we'll get on the radio here in a little bit. But we've got a big game right here. See if the Bulldogs can.
Was that 3:10 to play?
3:18. Let's see if they can finish them off here. East Gas wanted to jump.
He
They're going to get it. They're going to get
moved.
it. They're going to get it. I don't know if that's going to help them, but they only need like 15 more of those penalties, down 14. Best
Hey,
one.
hey, ref, he moved.
Uh-oh. Oh, let's listen. Over it. "18-yard touchdown pass for somebody." Might be Cherville. Cherville and Thomas Jefferson is in overtime right now.
Wait a minute. They had to play overtime.
Yes. They are in overtime right now. Do you kick or do you go for two, Will?
They're going to leave it right there, though, Kevin.
They're going to call a timeout and talk about it is what they're going to do. So we're going to pause them for a second. Andre, as soon as never mind. I can listen to them. As soon as y'all hear them talking again, we'll go back out there to them. So Cherville takes a timeout after scoring a touchdown. They can go 1 to tie, 2 for the win. I guess Jefferson's already got 21. So it's 21-20 from what we think. So let's go back and listen.
He just got accepted. He just got intercepted in the end zone before the regular. Don't like the call.
Yeah, a few minutes earlier he threw an interception.
We're going to leave it right here. We don't want to miss this. As both teams have used their one timeout here, Danny.
They sure have, Ken.
So, folks, you're listening to Cherville and Thomas Jefferson in overtime right now.
The Ironmen are going to gamble.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's how much confidence you got in that offense that you can get them 2 yards, Danny.
Well,
2.5 yards or whatever.
Aiden Farmer has already kicked 2 extra points, after touchdown.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean,
you guys go for 2 going for your home.
I mean, do you want to keep playing, or you want to
they're
try
talking
to
it
end
over right
here?
now.
They just threw an
I
interception
think the decision's
before.
been made.
Yeah, I know.
Unless they change.
Just threw an interception about in the same area.
Obviously, you don't care.
It's been really a back and forth thing.
Obviously, Coach Pruitt don't care.
We can't do that
Do you
twice.
somehow give it to
Go for it.
Samir Moss?
Yeah. Come on, Will. What are the odds we throw 2 interceptions?
I think you got a better chance of
Just
maybe
saying.
He'll be calling you tomorrow
getting
morning.
out wide or faking it and then doing it. Maybe they're going to throw it. Who knows? Well, here we go, folks. Cherville's going for 2. They'll win it or lose it right here. Under center, Ward.
Another
He pulls
timeout.
out now. He-
You can't get a penalty here.
and he calls another timeout.
Do
He's rethinking now.
they have another timeout?
Let's take a short break, folks, and we'll be back.
Wait a minute.
All right, so we're gonna listen to this. Will, let's go through some of our scores real quick while we wait on Cherville there and everybody. So let's see. We've got West Lincoln won 54-14 tonight. Shelby won 64-0. Crest 42-7. Lincoln and 42-14 over East Burke. Bandy's 34-20 over Newton Conover. Brevard 48-0 over Patton. Lake Norman Charter 48-7 over Union County. Thursday night game, South Point over Ashbrook. Kings Mountain over Kramer. North Gaston over Huss. It's good when we got it at home, when we got it online only and nobody on the radio. I don't have to read all the numbers because they're watching anyway. So the people on the radio, I got to read the numbers. I can give you winners on this. Hickory over West Iredale tonight, though, 51-27. North Lincoln beats Ford by a lot. Watauga beats High Brighton by a lot. Freedom beats Sash County by a lot. Smoky Mountain by 2 over Franklin. We're just trying to get. We're waiting just for a minute, folks. We're going to get you right back out to Cherville for that final play of the game. Black numbers are finals. Red numbers are numbers we don't have finals yet. Let's get right back out to Rudelsville Stadium.
2.
Welcome back, folks. Danny Acre, Ken Link. We're in overtime with Griffins of Thomas Jefferson holding on to a 1-point lead. The Ironmen are going to go for 2. They're going to go for 2 here. It looked like Thomas Jefferson had put the beep on the line, Ken.
They certainly have.
Going to have to go around, I guess, and go around the end to try to get that 2-point conversion.
Okay, here it is, folks. Here's a snap. Here's a throw. And he's caught for a 2-point conversion by Hunter Jackson.
Touchdown, Hunter Jackson.
Cherville wins it 22-21 on the Nova Larky, Mr. Sparky scoreboard.
Wow.
What a game, Daddy.
What a game.
And folks,
That's why I
we'll be
talk
back
about
to
high school
recap it all
football and not
after
coaches.
These messages.
So,
It's
I'm gonna pause that for a sec for the folks that listen at home and like, so those moments, what you just saw and heard right there, and I know you guys are Crest guys. I'm trying to say this the best way I can. That's what you said. That's what's good about high school and college football is that, and people talk about in college when you see a game go back and forth, and I love college football, and then you think, I just saw the 57th best team in the nation beat the 84th best team, and I had a good time with it. So, a lot of people poo-poo these games.
Sure.
And this is what makes me angry about the conferences, is that Cherville and Jefferson tonight played a fun, competitive ball game. Those kids are going to love it and remember that the rest of their lives. And then you got to make them go and play Shelby and Burns. And it just ruins the experience altogether for the most part. And that's what makes me mad about it, is that it would be much, much better to have all these teams in competitive conferences, that every game is fun. It is competitive. It is meaningful, as opposed to where half your games are just, hey, let's hope we don't get hurt. It's going to be a lot of points. We got to save our games for these other games. And that games like this is what makes high school and college football fun, is kind of where I was going with that, is that you don't need the big matchup for it to be a good game and have fun with it.
Right.
If only somebody had some control over the North Carolina High School Athletic Association in Chapel Hill. Oh, wait a minute. They do now. Maybe we'll get better conferences.
We'll see. East Gaston's got the ball. They're 90 yards away from scoring, down 14 with 1 minute to go. So the Bulldogs.
I don't know what kind of miracle they're trying to pull here, but
Well, listen. If that running back gets the ball in space, he's going to be gone.
listen.
Not only will he cross the goal line,
I take that back because I done seen him run the ball. So
He's got like 400 yards or something.
he won't only cross the goal line, he'll be
He'll just
halfway
keep
to
running.
East Gaston.
he'll just keep running it.
I can't wait to see his final stats. Like I said, he's been impressive tonight. We're gonna have some highlights for of him and the Bulldogs. 98 points right now on the board so far. We'll see if East Gaston can punch one in here.
I love these defensive struggles.
Yeah, there's no. Well, Cherville and Thomas Jefferson was pretty good there for him. Let me put that final score on there for you, Cherville folks. How about the 22-21 win over Jefferson?
Way to go,
in
Ironman.
overtime.
Hey, I've been critical on
That's
the
a
Ironman
streak,
this
ain't it?
year, so that's pretty good.
Well,
Way
Coach
to go,
Wood can
Ironman.
call in the morning and celebrate with Kevin.
Oh, flag goes up. Burns must have did something they wasn't supposed to do. Let's see what they say.
That's usually what a flag
Let's
means.
go to Tom.
I'm not sure. I mean, like, Cheryl's fighting. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's like 3 of them
I don't know
tapping.
about that.
I don't know if somebody gave him
You
the
know, I
business
mean,
or
it's
not.
just, he's fighting. Marshall's trying to fight him. That's a 6'3" guy going against a 6'4" guy. You know? I mean, what? Okay. So they
Yeah, it went against.
give the hugs and hearts
if you
penalty
can't
there.
tell,
I just
it
don't
went
agree with
against.
that.
It went
You know,
against
and
mine.
Yeah, they're
saying
marking
it's
off
just
getting hurt.
a gamer all
They left
night,
the screen.
But I just don't. I think if you're going to struggle and fight and try to
Who's running the camera?
Such a big penalty. They left the screen.
So they're going to
we got
give him,
the
it's a
25.
spot foul.
Clock's
So
moving.
that camper's in penalty
They've
against
wasted
Burns.
5 seconds.
Gives
They
the
don't even know the
Faston
clock. They're
Pharmacy
acting like they don't
first
even know the
down.
clock's moving. Young boy's got a hike. There's 10 seconds
I'm
going.
going to tell you what, man.
I don't know why the clock
just
is
kneel
even
down
moving,
and,
though.
You know, Cheryl's
Yeah,
got to
live to fight another day.
Live to fight another day as he'll run, and he's still
On the
running.
kneel
I'll tell you
down,
what,
bro.
this
We're down
kid,
2 scores. You got to
this
try.
kid is something.
He needs to run
I'm
out of
gonna give
bounds,
this kid
though.
a lot of credit.
There he goes. Finally out of bounds.
And see, It's just, man, no.
Oh boy.
No, this is not what we want. No. See, man, it's just, man.
So the Burns players are over in the sidelines.
Yeah, this is not good. Is there,
On East
especially if
Gaston
there's ejections on
sideline.
this one
Yeah,
side.
come on, guys.
I mean,
Winning
it's just,
by 14. There's one player walking across the field
I'm
without his
not
helmet. He
sure.
can't
I
be
mean, what's the point? I mean, it's just the
sure he's
game's
not allowed
over.
to play anymore.
I'm not sure.
You're on the opposing team's
what
sideline
they're
with
gonna
no
do,
helmet
who's
on.
gonna be
Come on,
ejected. It's
man.
going to take a while to sort this one out, but
That's
I mean,
number
it's just.
2.
I guess I got mixed
It might
feelings
be gone.
there. I'm
I don't
not
see
sure
anybody
I agree
holding
with
it.
the
There's
personal
19 don't
foul.
have a helmet either.
You have a chance to end the
11
game.
got
you extend the
19's
game.
helmet.
Okay,
Insane.
somebody's got somebody's.
That's it. I mean,
Yeah, at least
you
pick
gotta
up the
move on.
laundry.
You're gonna put your players in jeopardy
Yeah,
like
it was-
that.
it
I
was-
mean, I just don't agree with the play calling of East Gaston there. I'm not putting my quarterback in danger there. I mean, it's
I don't
just
know,
the
Tom. I'm
game's
down
over.
14 with a minute to go. I'm still trying to score.
It's not. I think this
I'm not
game
taking
is
a
over. I
knee.
don't think they're gonna play. I don't think they're gonna run another play. I'm not sure they got the policeman out there. I mean, this is just. I'm just not.
Well, for us,
I'm just not sure
that's
how,
Cleveland
how can
County's
you
finest.
decide
I think they
anything
had
in
them
that
broke up
mob
before
of
they got
humanity
across.
of it.
yeah, I get.
Oh, look, Will, they emptied the
anything-
stands.
An ejection would be if Burns guy throws a punch,
Oh
or
no,
if
they just didn't bring
an
nobody
East
with them.
Gaston player leaves the bench area.
Yeah, that would be the.
Touche, Will.
They was in.
But you know, East Gaston's got Shelby next week. You got Shelby next week.
Absolutely.
So why are you putting your quarterback in danger there when you got Shelby? I
He
mean,
said
it just
what?
doesn't make any sense.
Steve DeGree said, bring him on.
I mean, I hate to criticize a coach, but I'm gonna criticize that coach. You're putting that kid in a lot of danger, man.
How
I just don't
about
agree with
how
what
about
you're
let's
doing.
call it what it is. You don't have to agree with the coach teaching his kids to play ball.
Right,
but-
they're down 14 with a minute to play. You're still trying to score.
but Burns is on the other. Burns is
Yeah,
on the
get
other
your butts
side.
off the other side. This is
It's
Burns'
causing
fault. on
trouble.
this
That's
one.
that's
This ain't-
Burns'
this ain't-
fault. That's
this
not
ain't
the
East
coach's
Gaston's
fault for him teaching his kids to
No.
battle.
Here come the officials. See what they're gonna do.
And that's what Mooney's telling. Just shut up and stay on the sideline.
Yeah, just stay. I mean,
Shut up and stay
Somebody,
on the
some
sideline.
coach got some helmets in his hand.
And that's leadership from Ben Mooney.
As soon as the
Shut up and stay here.
this ends
That's
up,
what he's
folks, we're going
telling
to wrap it up on the radio
And that's what
folks
he
side,
needs
and we're
to
going
tell
to
them.
continue here on our part
And
of the
there's our
show.
administration on
We're
the
trying to
field.
let Tom and them finish it out and let them
And I
announce
don't
it.
think
So.
there needs to be a handshake either. I mean, it's gotten out of hand.
Somebody had to cause it
And
though.
like I
I
say,
know,
I just
something caused
don't-
something. We didn't
Something
see because it
caused
was
it.
off the
Something-
camera.
I don't
Something
agree.
caused it.
Somebody
I know
did
it was a
something.
hard
Something
tackle,
happened.
and
But
he
you
wrestled
can't
him
blame
to
the other team for
ground.
running a play.
Yeah,
Just-
exactly.
That caused the
penalty
fight.
doesn't get called. Barnes comes out, kneels down, it's over.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
minutes
you
left
know,
in
if
the game,
somebody
man.
jumped on
No,
him when
it's
he's
21
down, he got
seconds.
no choice.
There
but
was
he
1 minute
wrestled
when
him
this
to the
all
ground.
started.
I mean, I know, like I said, I know it was a hard tackle. It's a hard tackle.
Wait a minute, what's a
But
soft
I'm
tackle?
telling you, there's Coach Gibson and Mr. Beaver, Ms. Aberley, the rest of them are there on the field trying to get a hold of this thing.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it just depends on what has gone on. It can impact next week's games. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
so a long discussion continues there midfield.
Somebody gonna go back and
between
review
the
this
two
tape.
coaches.
That one
Yeah,
kid.
that's
Well,
over.
they're gonna.
Well, it won't review this
They
thing because
won't
it wasn't on
because
it.
it wasn't on it.
There's separate ways, and Tom, we won't know.
No.
Hey, they
really
call
what
it
Hold
game-
on.
if there were any.
They called
Ejections.
now.
Yeah.
Now East Gaston folks is
I'm
acting like
saying, don't
something.
eject
They're
any of
they're
those
down
East Gaston
14 and they're
players
going
that's
crazy
right on
over
the
there. So what are
sideline.
they getting?
I don't know if anybody threw a punch, but I'm just telling you.
But
That's
what
an
about that
ugly
kid who-
way to
Hey, that kid
end
right there don't have a
very
shirt on, and
spirited
they're
football
pushing him
game.
back.
It was a fun game.
It was a fun
Up
game.
here, what is this kid doing right here?
Yeah, I don't want to be judged on the way I acted when I was 17 years old either. But you gotta keep it together, guys.
Come on, Trent, turn the
You know?
camera and zoom in on somebody. You
You
gotta get some
thrown
good
out,
stuff.
you're out 2 weeks. Guess what?
I want to
Who's
see
got
Scout.
the camera?
Hey, Jason, come on, you got to zoom in like WWE.
I mean,
They got a puncher's chance.
oh,
no,
they said no signal.
I was about to say.
So, Wright's Jewelry Scoreboard 56-42. We're going to bring you pretty quick.
We're gonna shut them up. A lot of times that happens when your team's at fault. The the camera stops working. I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I've seen that. You know.
But what about
I remember the fight over in West Lincoln that a few years back was it Devin Travis and them, and all of a sudden they didn't have any video of it from the home side of the team. We had to pull something out of the stands. I think you used one of our KTC videos on one of them because they couldn't find it. So it happens. Just
what about the kid with the no jersey? Was he on the sideline or was he in the game?
I don't know.
The number 2 kid from Burns.
I don't know. Did he come off the Burns side? That's what Steve's asked. Did he come all the way across the
happened?
field?
We don't know. He didn't have a helmet on, did he?
Oh, I think that was number 19.
That was number 2. Didn't have no helmet on.
Yeah, 2 didn't have a helmet on, and then there was 2 of them that didn't. 2 and I think 2 was the first one. I think.
But what I'm saying,
too.
if he
And
came,
number 11 brought one of them's helmet across, and then one of the coach had the other helmet.
yeah. But what I'm saying, if he came from the sideline, if he was
Right.
not participating in the game, he automatically rejected.
Yep. So
Yep.
you don't know if
You don't know.
he was even.
And
in
if
the
more
game
than
or-
3 of them people come off of their sideline onto the field,
They done.
That's
they
it.
done. And the team's done.
The team's done.
You don't know.
So
I
when we'll
guess
get
Q
some
Tucker
more.
she'll have. I guess Q Tucker figure that out.
Do you think she does anything?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. The last time that they threw a team out of the playoffs for doing that, that's how they got this bill passed to control the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, because they threw out a team from the legislators who brought the bill originally, his county.
Aye.
All right, we're gonna get set up. We're gonna take a quick break here online, and then I'm gonna go get JP set up for the post game show, folks. Give me just a second.
They took a timeout, so we're gonna take a time.
Yeah, they're done with it. They unplugged the camera, so we'll be back in just a few minutes and get set up for you guys here on KTCBroadcasting.com. Oh.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travel. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
With us today, we've got Stephen Churka from the CSI Academy in Shelby.
Listen, Calvin, give us a call today to take advantage of our fall train promotion. Now going from $815 qualifying, $1,200 rebate. Call us today and schedule your free estimate. 704-600-6267. Also, you can come by our locations for your Crest 50/50 raffle tickets. That's 410 South Post Road in Shelby, North Carolina.
It's hard to stop a train.
only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
I feel like Ric Flair. Ooh.
There you go.
Almost. You almost messed up your own name.
You almost had it, JP.
JP,
He changed my title.
did you not drink your Coca-Cola today?
He changed my title, Will.
What week is this, JP? Yeah, is this the 8th week we've been doing this program? How many years have we been doing this program?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's one of these days we're going to get all this worked out, and it's going to be smooth as glass.
I doubt it.
You gave me the wrong.
You beat me to it. I was about to say something, but you beat me to it.
You gave me. He just asked me what my name was. Still gave me the wrong title.
What title did he give you? I didn't
He
hear.
said something about youth minister. Something he said.
You
Oh, okay. So he
okay.
kept you at the Herschel.
Okay, thank you. Thank
let's
you.
all bow our heads for a word of.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And I got extra Usher Sunday too. JP, that was a good time, bro. Always Usher third Sunday.
Welcome everybody on the radio, listening. If you've got to us yet, I know we're on WOHS right now. WCSL is finishing up right now. Cherville in the post game show, winning overtime, 22-21, and we'll show the highlights of that. And we'll talk to, of course, Coach Pruitt in the morning about that. If you Cherville fans want to listen to Coach, he'll call in the morning. But we'll have highlights for that. We got highlights of East Gaston at Burns, West Caldwell at West Lincoln, Jefferson at Cherville. We got a few highlights of East Rutherford RS Central, and then Shelby, Bessemer City, Creston Forest View, Lincoln and East Burke. Is any more on my list? I think that's it. 6.
What we don't have is a
Seven Huss and North Gaston highlights as well. So we had 7 games this week of highlights. Go ahead.
What we don't have is the finale of the Burns and East Gaston game.
No, that game got a little.
But Tom will
weird
be
on
calling
the end.
in to fill us in on what we missed.
He probably will say that for the morning show. He definitely won't call in tonight.
We might have Rob. Rob might call in.
Rob
Let us
might
know.
call in.
He was helping.
I need to talk to him about the Crest game last night anyway. So, Rob, call in.
What do you need to talk to him about?
42-7.
What?
Here, Steve. How'd y'all do?
What was wrong with What was wrong with the offense? You
Break
only
that
scored
down,
42
Steve.
points.
I mean, listen. At halftime, it was 14-7 last night.
Last night. That's what one of the slow starts.
That's a slow start. So I get it. But
Yeah.
then they came out and
But
just,
they never had to run the clock.
they just trunk the train back up.
Why can't we be like
It's got to
Shelby
be
will?
42.
Huh?
It's got to be 42
Right.
Yeah.
to
Why
start
can't,
the start the clock.
why
So they
can't
got
we
to
be
score
like
that
Shelby,
49
though?
point.
They got 64 tonight and a running clock.
They played 180.
We played. I was waiting for that guy to break Kevin's record, but he didn't.
He wasn't going to. He ain't going. Good D. Good D, Shelby. Good
I
job.
thought about Kevin.
Steve gets the chicken wings tonight.
Yeah, I thought about Kevin. I said, when I went he threw one. I said, "Oh God, the guy dropped." I said, "I know Kevin Glad."
I was listening. I said, "Woo, that was close." Now I did say on the pregame show, Steve. I said, "Now if they give up a passing touchdown, I'm gonna eat Steve's wings live on the air while he drives in on the show." So,
Well, Steve, we're trying
so
to
you
think
get to
of
eat tonight.
what we can do for the 25th anniversary of this historic
You
play.
hold it down 2 more years. We'll throw a party.
You get the whole chicken. You won't just get the wings.
Everything.
Well, think of that. As long as they got number 1 back there running the ball. So.
Well, while you're here, Steve, tell us a little bit about the Shelby going live tonight. I'll pull up some highlights for you guys.
Well, actually, we started off a little slow too. Made a lot of penalties, but once Lane got it cranked up, we took over, threw a beautiful pass to Eli Falls. The cat he just run over and dropped it in the bucket. Had a pick 6 by a freshman, and Kristen Tate always run hard. Then we had the sophomore Jalen Tate. He scored 1. And like I said, we had a pick 6 by the freshman, number 28. Ran 1 back for a touchdown. And, of course, Drew Hollifield, he scored a couple. So, and then we got a safety And the only negative thing, we missed one extra point. We still scored 64. It was 44-0 halftime. And then we had homecoming, and Miss Robb, she won homecoming queen, Shelby High School. And once we got ahead, I was stuck watching the Burns score and, thinking about that, and just didn't want to get nobody hurt for next week. So we emptied the bench and tried to get everybody to play. Everybody dressed up, properly played, and that's what you need to do. And also, Kevin, if you don't mind, I want to give a plug to our JV team. We went up and played Chase on Thursday night. Got to see Coach Calder and everything. And my thing is this: we got some JV kids in who hadn't played all year long, and it was just a reward to see some of those kids who's been practicing all year and been our scout team, and they never get in the game. So Coach Will Banks make sure we empty the bench Thursday night. A couple of kids, a kid named Lawton Kid Will. He's a big kid, and he's trying to get his fundamentals down pat. And that young man got in the game. He was just looks like a kid in the candy store. And that's what you got to do. You got to find a way to get your kids in the game, and that's what we did the other night. So I was proud of that. The way Coach Will Banks and them handled that.
Is this the pass you're talking about, Steve?
No, the one to Eli.
Farmer to Bridges.
No, one to Eli Falls.
Okay, was that wasn't the first one, was it?
The one that was a long pass that caught it.
Okay, no, this was the one over the middle to Falls. So you started off 7-0 with right here to Falls for the touchdown, and then
Mr. Tate.
That was 21. This was the 14-0 was the pass, Farmer to Bridges into the corner. Let's get some audio coverage in. Beautiful pass into the corner.
And quarterback's a stud.
And then Tate goes for, this makes it 21-0. Whoop. Slides in for that one. How about 23 on the safety? They tried to run a reverse, Steve, and you guys sniffed it out.
Uh-oh, 2 points.
About ran out the back of the end zone.
I was trying to see who
How
got
did he
credit
get
for the
that?
safety.
How did he get back that far?
That's what I'm saying. Like, watch him. The defensive lineman forced him deep, and then he just kept on going. Almost Dan Orlovsky that one. Wonder if that was one where you could just throw it out of the end zone and not get it. Worst thing happens, you get a safety or an incomplete pass. Just throw it in the crowd.
Go Drew Hollifield.
Was that a direct snap? Yeah.
Yeah, Wildcat.
Hollifield with it. Jeff Miller, I know you're on the phone. Give me about 1 minute, and I'll get right to you as I finish up through these Shelby highlights.
Sweet. That was Calvin Ramsey.
I made it 44-0, and then here's the pick six
by the freshman.
Freshman with the pick six. Fuller.
Oh, he got some wheels.
What's his name?
All I know, he's a freshman. He's number 7 because these kids. He played JV. He's a 8-quarter kid.
This made it 51-0. Bridges on the little is this skinny post or slant? I can't tell. Little skinny post right behind the linebacker. And then I made it 7-0. 37-0 right here. Here's the one Steve's probably talking about. Falls.
Right, dead in the bucket. Boom.
Falls wide open.
We ran that play.
He's a tall kid, isn't he?
Right. Eli's a good kid. We ran that play a couple times in practice the other day and worked the same way. I told him, I said, that's the same play we ran in practice the other day. Dropped it dead in the bucket.
So the line's going up 44-0 on the left side around the end.
Calvin Ramsey, number 7.
51-0. Falls. We just saw that one a minute ago. And then the 58-0 was the pick six to end it. All right, we got Jeff Miller on the phone, if we still got him connected and everything. Jeff, you there? All right, Jeff, did you go to 2 games this week? Did you go to 1 game? What have you done this week? Oh, you didn't go to any games. Okay. So tell us about that game. South Point won 49-14 in a game a lot of people thought would be a little bit closer.
South Point would score first in Ashbrook, and after Ashbrook scored the tie of the game, make it 7-7. Basically toward the bottom of the second quarter, South Point scored 2 quick scores. One by the quarterback Blee, And then after stopping Ashbrook, they score on a punt return for a touchdown by Cam Crawford. And that's what made the score 21-7 at halftime. And then after that, it was basically an onslaught. It was between, Patrick Blee and Chance Ford in the second half made it 35-7. And then I think another Blee touchdown made it 42-7. And then that's when Hodge sort of took the starters out. But the backup, I think it's Ashton Green. I forget what his last name is, but I know it's Ashton. Scored to make it 49-7, and that's what started the continuous clock. And Ashbrook's quarterback, Ryan Denton, did score the touchdown to make it 49-14. Now, the first touchdown was scored by J.J. Gordon. That's what tied the game. And even though I didn't go to a game last night, I did watch the Burns East Gaston game on YouTube.
Well, thank you for tuning in. It was a good game, wasn't it?
Oh, man, I was telling people, I told Dale in the podcast with him and Jim on Wednesday night, I told him I think Burns is just going to win this one by 21 points. I think East Gaston will keep it close, but I just felt like Burns was going to, rip them for a 21-point deficit. I wasn't too far off. I mean, Burns won by 14, and it was a 21-point game until East Gaston ripped off that long touchdown run. But that interception, I felt like sealed the deal.
Yeah, Bulldogs back and forth all night with East Gaston. How you think about, how you feel about those Warriors compared to some of these other, they don't really get to play these 3A schools now. They're in this conference. What about this year's Warriors team? Maybe who's the best team in Gaston County is what I'm asking.
Right now that's when with South Point losing to Hunter Huss, and Huss playing a Jekyll and Hyde this year. They beat South Point, then have to go to overtime to beat one win 4C team, and then they lose homecoming last night to North Gaston. I think it was homecoming.
Yeah, it was.
21-14, and of course North Gaston's road wins the past 3 years, both of them came at Hunter Huss, and so you got to wonder if there's a little bit of a kryptonite right there. But I got two teams I want to give hats off to this year is East Gaston and North Gaston. East Gaston with their now 7-1 record, but still they're very impressive, and they really vindicated themselves tonight, I feel like. And then North Gaston going 4-4, and they have a very winnable game this coming Friday against Stuart Kramer, I feel like. So, I mean, I'm very happy for those kids down in Dallas and the kids down in Mount Holly. And, of course, shout out to West Lincoln for, continuing to plug along.
Well, Jeff, let me give you a little scenario. Let's suppose next week, Steve, forgive me. Let's suppose East Gaston beats Shelby, and then the following week, Shelby loses to Burns. Now we've got a three-way tie for first place.
You mean if East Gaston beats Shelby next week, then Shelby beats Burns?
Yep.
Yeah, you said it backwards.
Or backwards.
Yep. I mean, the Big South Conference is already a mess with the third place scenario, and now you guys are going to throw a monkey wrench on your own conference with a three-way tie for first. I mean, that just goes to show that the Gaston-Cleveland area has some of the best football in the state, minus a few other teams. But, I mean, this has been one interesting year as far as high school football goes in these two counties.
Well, that's why you got to tune in here so you can keep up with all that's happening, with all the scenarios that are going on.
And I wouldn't be surprised if fans were trying to send me to Mount Holly next week.
So who does these cats don't play next week?
Golden Lions.
Oh yeah, so it's in Mount Holly. So all right,
It's Shelby. I believe it's going to be at East Gaston next week.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
So.
Are you going? So you might be at that game, is what you're saying?
Yep. I mean, the fans. I might do a poll this week, of which game I should attend, and I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of the fan bases send me over there.
All right, Jeff. Well,
Hey,
if as long
Carolina
as
Varsity's Facebook page.
well, as long if you make it back from Myrtle Beach, you might just move in down there.
Get him a condo on the beach. And put his toes up in the sand. Hey, watch out for them beach worms.
What'd you say?
Hey, watch out for them beach worms.
I tell you what, I'll have a good time down here at the beach for you guys. I'm coming back home in a couple of days, so.
All right, have a good time, Jeff. Don't get sunburned.
We'll hear from you next week. Don't eat too many crabs.
I don't eat a lot of seafood, so no worries.
All right, Jeff Miller, Carolina Varsity, Gaston County reporter here for us.
And only go swimming while they got a lifeguard.
Hey, wait a minute now.
All right, Jeff, have a good one. All right, we're rolling through some highlights for the folks here at home. Steve, hit that computer button for me so I can get some.
Kevin, if you don't mind, I got to come back and it was a Morris Moore for Shelby. A Morris Moore, number 28.
Mm-hmm.
I had to look it up because I don't want the young man to be mad at me in practice Monday. Coach, you don't know my name? Because he
Too late. He going to see that. He already know you.
See, Will, he wears 7 on JV.
Oh, okay.
And then wear 28 on varsity. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with it. But it was a Morris Moore, number 28 for sure.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Steve, you know what? I'm going to give that to the veteran coach, because they don't put the names on the hats no more. They used to wear their names on. Yeah. Back in the day. Back when we was coming up, put a piece of tape on, put the last name across the forehead so you remember, take them off on game day.
Yeah. Oh, we still do it at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're so cheap, we had to save the tape, Couldn't get a fresh piece.
So we're going through some highlights for you folks at home, waiting on some of our broadcasters to call in and talk about some of our games. This is Thomas Jefferson with an interception at Cherville in the first half with a 14.
Talk about a bad
That's
win.
a bad interception. Roll it back. If you watch this, it's a bad interception. He gets this ball out early. He is gone, but he misplaced the ball.
What about that missed tackle right there?
Threw a little short on it. Is that what you're saying there?
Yeah,
Will?
it's a little short. If he goes up,
I think he thought he was going to cross.
Watch this guy.
And he didn't cross. He went up on it because he threw that ball. It's way right when he lets go. So I think he thought he was going to cross right there in front of the safety, and he did not.
Are they playing at Cherville?
Yeah, that was at Cherville. Cherville won overtime by 1.
Yeah, 22.
They went for 2.
I seen that. I heard that.
East Burke stops the Wolves on the goal line with 4 seconds left before the half, but it didn't matter. East Lincoln pulled away for the big win. How about this is East Gaston and Burns highlight. East Gaston on the touchdown. Running back, he had a big night, and I can't wait to hear the stats on this. How about Lincoln and homecoming queen, Kaylin Robinson? I think she's excited here, guys. Watch this. He's dancing on the sideline. But Miss homecoming queen Kaylin Robinson of Lincoln celebrating here at Lincoln High School. Congratulations. Folks, send us your highlights of homecoming queens, bands and whatnot. Here's Bulldogs going up 28-21.
And you got that play, Kevin, where the guy follows him?
We might. I hope we did. We can always pull it up back up on YouTube. West Lincoln, big win tonight. This made it 40-7 over West Caldwell. Extra point with no good on that one. That was Lincoln with a 5-yard run. Camera person was all over the place at Lincoln. He was on the sideline and the stands. That looks like he's on the roof.
That do look like he's on the roof. Those are good.
It's great view.
Yeah, that's a great view for us watching the game.
How about Mikael Jenkins picks up the East Rutherford fumble and into the end zone for RS Central. That made it 31-22, but East Rutherford wins tonight. Comeback. Slaps the ball away and off into the end zone for the touchdown. West Lincoln going up 47-7 on West Caldwell. Punches it in. How about Burns 34-28? Well, look at this catch.
Your living room right there.
How about that catch, y'all? I can't express how hard it is to do what he just did.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Readjust.
He adjusted twice.
Over his head, y'all. Willie mazed it, and he turned, like you said, he turned his head. That's almost impossible to catch with a football helmet on. Then he stiff arms the defender in the end zone. This might be my favorite or the play of the night. Just to know how hard that is to catch. Not only the catch, how about the throw? I ain't even talking about that. Mooney put that in a spot only he could catch that ball in.
Baseball. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful play around 34-28. Mark that down as possible. Play of the night, Surratt with the catch. I just an outstanding catch. Wow, I love it. All right, East Rutherford, quarterback keeper from Landon Flynn. This made it 31-28. Cavaliers over the Hilltoppers. There's the bell. There's your bell, Will.
There's the bell.
Will's been wanting to hear the bell all. We'll turn it up. I could turn it up on the computer too without doing that. Let's try this. There's Will. That was when they were up 42-14 over Eastburg. That's who Lincoln and Wolves. And our cameraman didn't make it to the roof there.
They've made a nice comeback from where they started.
Yes, they have. All right, how about the band?
So what are they now?
5-4 or 4-4? Let me look.
What are they in their conference?
They're 4-4 overall. Not sure about the conference right now. We'll go over that here in just a little bit. There's Lincoln and Band.
I don't know who we need to make a plea to, but the music departments in the schools have took a drastic hit. The arts department has took a drastic hit.
There's no more Ray Hopper.
Are you saying we need some culture?
But no, there's no kids. So they need bodies in there. They need bodies. Kids need to experience it. I remember Chris having the
100 kids
and
on Shelby. I mean,
there's no more Ray Hoppers.
yeah.
Well, it's not just your school. I think Will's right all around.
Schools, yes.
Just as far as Cheryl's concerned, I remember Mom used to say that she was, when they were in the bands, was over 100 people, and that was in the 70s.
Right.
In the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, when I was there, we had 80 something like that in the band. I know it filled up the whole room.
Right.
And then you look, and then when I went to Bessemer, there was only like 30 people in that band. And so I saw it there, and then now somebody said they was at the Cherville game the other night, and there was only like 30 people out there. And it was just amazing to me knowing that I know what the band room looks like and how many people can fit in there. And you tell me there's only 30 people in there. It'd have to feel like empty almost, wouldn't it?
It amazes me because I remember that sound, that band, the band on that sideline in the drive, and needing. Waiting for that certain song when you needing to get motivated, and they play that certain song, and you can feel everything feeling like thunder driving through you.
So you're familiar with the horse?
Yes,
Green Onion.
Yes.
So we got Ken Link on the line. He was we actually have a dial tone on the line. We're about to have Ken Link on the line. He broadcast the Thomas Jefferson.
There he is.
Just give me one. Ken did the Thomas Jefferson Cherville game tonight. Went into overtime, and I've got highlights of that. And Ken, what a game tonight! And between the two, interceptions, there's turnovers, there's touchdowns, there's wild calls here and there. You guys had a big night over in Cherville, didn't you? the scoreboards. Yeah, we were listening to it live here. Fantastic game. Good call, guys, on the game. It was just fun listening to some of the calls and what was going on the field. It's tough with doing these high school games because, you know, when you do college and NFL, that you kind of know everything because the refs have their mics on and announce everything. And a lot of times they're announcing these games, you're like, well, I don't know what that flag's for. We're kind of guessing, we're waiting, and it's well, I got a couple comments here. First of all, Cherville and Thomas Jefferson playing here against each other. Neither team of which their main color is black, and I'm sitting here looking at them both wearing black uniforms tonight, and trying to figure out what happened with that. We should have been blue on white and burgundy. Now we got black and white versus black and gray, so that confused me a little bit on that one. I mean, we're looking at them on camera, and it's hard to see the numbers. I'm sure it was for you up in the stadium. Cherville next week will be hosting the Burns Bulldogs, and then finish up at Bessemer City, trying to squeeze in here into the playoffs. Well, they've got the wins taken care of the teams they're supposed to beat now, with Thomas Jefferson and Highland Tech. Now they've got to face off with Bessemer and try to get that 1 seed in a couple weeks, right? Well, I didn't know that. Tom Jefferson's had a pretty decent program in the last few years. I tell you what, I'm gonna give you a chance to handicap one matchup here, Ken. Thomas Jefferson and Highland Tech will face each other at the end of the year. Do the Rams have a chance to pull off the victory? Yeah. All right, just a little curious. You guys got any more questions for Ken before he has a good weekend? I guess not, Ken. I guess you're gonna have a good weekend.
Oh yeah, Ken. I saw
Hold on, Ken.
The Patterson kid, number 4. I know his mother. I know his father and his grandmother. He seems to be a pretty good athlete. Works in Shelby. He works over in Shelby Auto Bell. Right. Yeah, I got a chance to meet him over the summer. Yes, I had a chance to meet him this summer over in Shelby. Got a chance to talk to him. Thought he was a fine young man.
Well, Ken, real quick before you get off, the final thought or process. Them Cherville going for 2 there instead of going for 1. Most home teams take the tie and move on. What do you think about them going for the win there? Well, we're watching the interception that forced the overtime, and he kind of scored on the same play, but running the opposite way, and then crossed her over the middle to 4.
He was throwing across
the 4 then. Yeah, right there.
Well, Ken, if you and Danny ever wonder what a slobber knocker is, just go back and review tonight's game film. Yeah.
All right. Well, Ken, you have a good weekend, and thanks for doing all you do in broadcasting. You guys did a great call tonight on the ball game, and congratulations to Cherville Ironman on the win. All right, thank you, Ken. Ken Lake, Cherville Ironman, they win 22-21 tonight over the Thomas Jefferson Christian Lions for the first win in 11 years, Ken said, over Thomas Jefferson. So congratulations to the Ironman. We're going to talk to David Potter next, who did the Lincoln County Game of the Week. West Lincoln wins 54-14 in that game, and I'm going to pull up some highlights of that one as well as we get ready to talk to him.
54-14.
Did we ever get a final on that East Lincoln game?
No, last time we got 42 to 13, but I'm sure East didn't give that one up to St. Stephen's. But
I wonder what's happening in Highbright. I haven't seen them get beat this much. These years
been struggling the last few years.
Yeah, they said it was down in West Caldwell. They said the whole Caldwell County is down this year. West Caldwell got beat pretty bad tonight too, didn't they?
Yes, 54-14. They've had a few bad years.
So now is Highbright in Caldwell County or is it in Catawba?
It's in Caldwell County.
And it used to be that what High Brighton did, Will, sort of like some schools we know, they borrowed a few players from West Caldwell.
Okay, yeah.
To fulfill their dominance, if you will.
Well, as David gives us a call, we'll start going through some of these West Lincoln highlights. This made it 7-0. Handoff, Winnick's off the left side. You there, JP? Is David there? Oh, if you'd get off your phone and tell us, David, it ain't you. We're waiting for JP to get off his phone and hit the button so we can hear you. Now we got David Potter on the line. West Lincoln wins tonight, big time, 54-14. What was kind of expected, David, for them to take care of business against West Caldwell tonight. Lincoln County games across the board had some pretty easy games per se, and homecoming night across the county and other games. But with a big win tonight, the West Lincoln Rebels move on and move forward as they look to advance and keep the number 2 seed in the conference after Bunker Hill won tonight over Maiden, David. So tell us a little bit.
Out.
Yeah, 49-9.
I don't know what kind of defense they running on this play.
Who, West Caldwell? None. All right,
David. Not a whole lot that I saw.
Look at the way they line up. Look at them.
Well, cut West Caldwell some slack. They only have 7 seniors on their entire roster. So they're pretty young. They've got a freshman at quarterback. There are some good signs for them. They had 2 wide receivers get close to 100 yards in receiving tonight. So there's some hope for them, but they're just if they got anybody that can run the ball against them. I mean, and West Lincoln runs the ball well against a lot of people. They just blew holes open. And as Scott pointed out on the broadcast, Winnick is so patient. He'll just wait, finds a gap, and then he goes from 0 to 60 in no time at all.
Yeah, I'm watching him on the highlights. He does got a quick. You're right. The way he jogs, and then all of a sudden, boom, he takes off, and he's off and running very quick. The Rebels this year. Go ahead, Dave.
And West Lincoln runs the option kind of plays. I mean, being an Oklahoma graduate, hey, how'd Texas do last week? Being an Oklahoma graduate, I really appreciate how well they run the option there. Allen goes down the line, and Winnick maintains his spacing very nicely, forcing the defender to make a decision. Allen can keep it, or he can pitch it to Winnick, and then Winnick is out in open space, and away he goes. So they run that very nicely as well.
Well, tell us a little bit about the defense of West Lincoln. We talk a lot about this offense and Winnick, and you know, that's going to be the key when you face these other teams, how well you're playing on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, from what I saw, I mean, a lot of the yardage was given up. I mean, obviously they were substituting liberally in the second half, trying to keep people healthy. It was a 40-point game 3 minutes into the second half, so it was over at that point. But they held West Caldwell to under 60 yards rushing on the night. 10 or 11 tackles for loss. We lost track there after a bit. 4 sacks, 10 total tackles for loss. I mean, and they really do get in there. And part of the problem is West Caldwell can't run the ball. They've run for so few yards. I think it was like 500 yards on the year. And that's after 7 games. It's just a really terrible amount. And so West Lincoln just could tee off. They knew they weren't going to run the ball very well. So the linemen and linebackers would just come flooding in. The quarterback for West Caldwell, he was running for his life a lot of the night. So he did a really good job. He completed quite a few passes, a couple hundred yards, including a 72-yarder late in the game. So there is some hope in the future for West Caldwell, but it's not right now. Right now, they're just thinking, well, we'll get you all back in basketball.
Well, next week, Dave, you guys, next 2 weeks, we got you scheduled tentatively for North Lincoln. They take on West Iredell next week. That's going to be a big matchup, but both teams trying to get into the playoffs, and then they host East Lincoln the following week. So 2 big games coming up here for the North Lincoln Knights in that conference, and see how that's going to shake out here.
Yeah, and the way it's looking right now, North Iredell got smoked tonight by Statesville, and West Iredell got blown out by Hickory. A lot of blowouts around the area tonight. So you've got Hickory and Statesville both 5-0. They're the class of that league. You've got North Lincoln and East Lincoln both 3-2. So if they can hold serve next week, they'll both be 4-2. And what it looks like is that'll be a playoff game, basically.
Right.
They're going to be going for the 3rd spot. That's probably all the league's going to get because there is a drop-off after that. I mean, the rankings, and for a good reason after what we saw tonight, but West Iredell was 5-2 coming in. Max Preps had them as ranked 62nd in 3A. So they didn't think too highly of West Iredell. North Iredell, so I think you're going to look at Hickory and Statesville being 1-2 out of this league, and then North and East fighting for that last spot.
That
could make for a great fist fight on the 27th.
Yeah, it's going to be big games coming up in Lincoln County. West and Lincoln will be playing that last week as well. So we're sitting there looking at the standings. Hickory State's undefeated. North Lincoln with 2 losses. North Iredell and East Lincoln with 2 losses. And now West with 3 losses in that conference. And, of course, don't forget that last week, St. Stephen's and Ford play each other for – somebody's got to win that game.
Well, maybe Ford can break their, God knows, 30-some game losing streak. West Caldwell's not far behind. That's 29 in a row for them after tonight. So hopefully some will have something good happen for them there.
Maybe a tie.
That would be like the worst thing ever, wouldn't it?
Not that.
All right, David. Well, I appreciate it, and I know it's tough doing the games when they get out of hand that way. But thank you for everything you guys do. Hopefully, from here on out, we should have some pretty good games here in Lincoln County Game of the Week between these last 2, and then the playoffs start.
Let's hope so. We're running out of golf references and baseball playoffs and other things.
All right. Well, who the Sooners got tomorrow?
Bye week.
Actually,
Texas and Oklahoma both need to recover because that is a knockdown, drag-out battle every year at the Cotton Bowl. I was fortunate enough to go 3 of them. To 3 of those games. If you've never been and you can find a way to get a ticket, there is nothing like it. It is an amazing game.
And there's always the fair.
Drink.
Do what?
And there's plenty to eat and drink with a Texas State Fair going on.
Yep.
Yeah, if you can't find something to eat in Texas, you got a problem, don't you? All right. Well, thank you, David, and have a great weekend. And take care, guy. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
All right,
Talk to you later.
David Potter and Scott Tudor on the call tonight for West Lincoln over West Caldwell, 54-14. We showed you some of those highlights just now. Looking across the next week, like I said, on LincolnCounty.com, we got West Iredell at North Lincoln and East Lincoln at North Lincoln the last 2 weeks. So we should have North Lincoln here on Lincoln County Game of the Week. All right, JP, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to wait for some of our other broadcasters to call in, and we'll talk to them here in just a few minutes. You're listening and watching live the CSI Mechanical Scoreboard Show on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Once Upon a Time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Save your dates while supplies last. Too jolly good.
You'll love the Renaissance Festival.
There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, the Living Mermaids, and a feast all rolled into a non-stop outdoor family adventure. Presented by Pepsi. Sponsored by Hedis Tita. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Save your dates while supplies last. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Mention the Renaissance Festival and receive discount hotel accommodations at Hampton Inn and Suites, Huntersville and Lake Norman. Huzzah!
The city of Kings Mountain welcomes Cleveland County's finest Dirty Grass Soul with the main event band at Patriots Park Saturday, October 14th. Since 2011, Dirty Grass Soul has earned a reputation as one of the Southeast emerging Southern rock alternative country bands. CBMA nominees, the main event band, and DJ Drew Fulton will open the show at 6, followed by Dirty Grass Soul at 8 o'clock. Don't miss the cruise in beginning at 5. All makes and all models, including tractors and motorcycles. Hey, you're welcome too. So come to Patriots Park, 220 South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain, October 14th for great food, inflatables for the kids, and a great concert. Best of all, the concert and cruise in are free. For more information, contact City of Kings Mountain Special Events Department at 704-730-2101 or visit the website at kingsmountainevents.com. Bowling Springs Carpet and Tile is a new location at 142 North Main Street in Bowling Springs. Your best full-service flooring center. They carry a great selection of quality brands. Flooring by Mannington, Thermocore XL, and waterproof Mohawk Redwood. Carpeting by Mohawk, Shaw, and Southwind. Hardwood flooring by Somerset and Shaw. Luxury waterproof vinyl plank and tile, and much more. Visit Bowling Springs Carpet and Tile Monday through Friday, 10 to 5:30, Saturday, 10 to 1, or by appointment, call 704-434-9019.
You'll be first on race day with a stop at Kings Mountain Auto Supply, 904 West Gold Street in Kings Mountain. You'll find a full line of auto parts. They've got it all, and they even carry racing fuel. So before you head out to the track, get your racing fuel from Kings Mountain Auto Supply. Give them a call at 704-739-0391. In addition to great prices, you'll get friendly and knowledgeable service as well. Kings Mountain Auto Supply, 904 West Gold Street in Kings Mountain. Open Monday through Friday from 8 till 6, Saturdays 8 till noon. Like them on Facebook too.
When you cast a vote for Kevin Gordon for Cleveland County Commissioner, you are voting for a dedicated and experienced leader with a proven history of providing strategic direction, operational management, best practices, and service excellence. He is a strong advocate for all public safety agencies. He is proficient in maximizing efficiency of county operations and resources. He's a champion of economic development and creation of jobs with almost 40 years of public service. On March 5th, 2024, cast your vote for Kevin Gordon for Cleveland County Commissioner. This announcement paid for by the committee to elect Kevin Gordon, Cleveland County Commissioner. Jumpin' Jed's in downtown Fallston is getting ready for the holidays. But first, come in now for some great fall decorating ideas. And coming Saturday, October 14th, it's Heyday at Jumpin' Jed's in Fallston. There will be hot apple cider and apple butter. Local artisans will be there. Also a fall photo op and special sales throughout the store and a Christmas sneak preview. And mark your calendar for the 4th annual Fallston Small Town Christmas, Saturday, November 18th. That's Jumpin' Jed's in the heart of downtown Fallston. Open 10 to 6 Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday. Like them on Facebook too. Fall is here, and Main Street Hardware in Lydell has everything you'll need for the cooler weather months. All types of heaters are in stock now, plus a huge stock of Red Max equipment and price to sell. Hedgers, trimmers, weed eaters, and more. Check out the new line of outdoor furniture that you gotta see. It's not too late to aerate and reseed, and Main Street Hardware has seed, straw, and pine needles too. And of course, Main Street has all you need for projects around the house. See them today, Main Street Hardware, 356 Main Street in Lindale, and like them on Facebook too. Go Bulldogs!
And we're back on the CSI Mechanical Shelby post-game show with the Ministry of KTC Broadcasting. And we're watching some more highlights. It was like...
All right, JP, welcome back to the show, everybody. Your CSI Mechanical of Shelby, of course, is our sponsor.
Yep, Steve Churka. Thank you.
Thank you for sponsoring us, guys. You need your heat and air fix and anything else, give them a call today. Well, let's go through some of their highlights. Still waiting on some of our broadcasters to call and talk. Chip Carter's in the house. He's going to tell us about that East Rutherford game. That's just a fantastic game up there on Waggy. And then we're going to talk to a couple more. But let's run through our highlights real quick and finish these up so everybody make sure we get our highlights before the show ends. How about Burns going up 42-35 on East Gaston on this. Let's see if I can drop the volume just a little bit. And you can hear Tony Beaver yelling in the background on that one for the Bulldogs. Here's East Rutherford highlight. Marcus Logan made it 37-28.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
RS Central and East Rutherford. It was at Central. This is Cherryville tying it up 14-14 in the second half there. All right, how about Iron Men?
The Bulldogs.
Who's on the top?
All right, JP says we have a Bulldog on the phone, and that sounds like we have a dial tone on the phone. Dial tones can call, Will, but they just can't participate in any contest. We discriminate here at KTC. No dial tones can play in our contest. Yes, JP, you got him back on. You think you got him back on? Well, the first
pretty
thing
sure he's back on.
I got to hit this button so I can hear him. So let me turn this one off. All right, do we have him on? Tom,
Kevin? Pretty sure.
I hear him.
Tom, you there?
All right, I'm here, guys. How's it going?
Doing good. We're watching highlights of this Burns game, and pretty good ball game you guys had up in Lawndale tonight.
Yeah, fell behind 14-0. You know, I think there's a couple things we got to get buttoned down. I mean, if you saw the highlights, I want to say that the Brown kid for East Gaston had a 71-yard touchdown and a 67-yard touchdown, and they had some big explosive running plays, and that's something we're going to have to button down. Move it down towards the playoffs, but Ben Mooney, a heck of a game. He accounted for 5 touchdowns tonight. Kevin had about 300 yards passing, three passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. He was our SR Auto Sales overall player of the game, but you know, just big explosive plays the whole game. You know, not a whole lot of defense. You know, Terry would have hated the game. But at the end, it got a little ugly, and that's unfortunate. Didn't see anybody get ejected, but emotions kind of ran high as people knew what was on the line kind of for the conference championship. You know, Shelby, East Gaston, Burns all competing there, and they're pretty close in skill level and ability. So it's, you know, at the end of it, it got a little out of hand. But still a good win for us moving forward and sets up a big showdown with Shelby.
So who do y'all have next? Y'all have Cherryville next
week. We have to go to Cherryville next week.
You have to go to Cherryville next week.
Cherryville won in overtime tonight, Tom. They went for 2 and pulled it off and won, let's see, what was it, 22-21.
Yeah, 20. We were able to get that on our broadcast. Calvin texted that in to us. So, Cherryville, good win for Coach Pruitt and his guys. Glad for him. I knew that was a back and forth. That game was close all night. But, Coach Pruitt, if you're listening, congratulations to you. Glad for you to get that win against the 1A opponent. I know that's big for him moving forward, trying to get in the playoffs.
Now, the running back for East Gaston,
Well, they had a couple of them. Yeah, Brown had probably 200 yards. Sherrill, the quarterback, I was real impressed with him. He had over 100 yards rushing. McDowell, the other kid, number 20, he had a couple long runs, including a long touchdown. I want to say it was a 44-yard touchdown run. But, I mean, you saw the highlights, Will. I mean, it was just some long runs, and our guys in the second level couldn't catch them.
Yeah, I was saying he seemed to be pulling away, so he had pretty good speed. Once he got past the interior, it was lights out. It
was. I mean, it happened 3 times. I mean, twice with Brown and once with McDowell. And I mean, you just saw, like, once they got to the second level, I mean, their running backs have very good speed. I mean, and they've got a pretty good offensive line, and the quarterback's big and can run. I mean, I did kind of criticize that coach. I mean, that kid took a beating. If you watch the game, I mean, he took some hard hits, and one of the hardest hits he took, he was coming up and limping, so on the next play, they call a quarterback keeper for him and get him murdered 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I'm like, I mean, if you're going to do that, if your quarterback's a little shaken up, just call a timeout if you want him to, run the ball again. I just didn't understand that. Of course, there's a lot of things I didn't understand, but that's one. But, with their kids and their athletes, I was impressed. I think they can give Shelby a run for their money. I mean, they definitely gave us a run for our money. We're in there, for most of that game. So, defensive side of the ball, they had a hard time covering our wide receivers. You saw the Surratt brothers each had a touchdown, and Graham Warlick had a couple of nice catches for first downs on the sideline. So they do have their issues. But offensively, especially the ground game, they came in averaging close to 300 yards a game. Their ground game is no joke. They've got 3 guys who can run it. Brown, McDowell, and Sherrill, the quarterback, are all really a threat to run the football.
Hey, Tom, this is Stephen Degree. Do you think that once they review this tape that there'll be some ejections from that last play? I certainly hope not, but I saw one
hope
kid,
not.
but we saw a couple of kids that have helmets on.
The sequence, Steve, if you were watching it, McGowan had a hard tackle on Sherrill. And like I said, he wouldn't have been in that situation if I was the coach. I'm not going to put him in that danger. But their quarterback's a fighter, and he's trying to fight out of a tackle, from Marshall. And, Marshall's a big kid, 6'3", over 200 pounds. Sherrill's a big kid, 6'4", over 200 pounds. They're in a wrestling match, and, eventually Marshall wins it and gets him to the ground pretty hard, and they throw a penalty. So I'm not really sure. If they don't throw the penalty, it's, turnover on downs. Burns kneels down, we all go home.
Okay,
but they decided to call a 15-yard penalty, and then Sherrill got hit on the sideline. One of their offensive linemen took offense, came down and hit one of our guys. And then it was, you saw what happened on the sideline. They decided to end the game 20 seconds early. I'm sure they'll review the film, but I didn't hear anything egregious on our side. I didn't hear anybody, There's 2 things that are going to get you thrown out of a high school game. You throw a punch or you leave the bench. And I didn't see Burns guys leave the bench.
That's what I was wondering. Did anybody leave?
Right. But we saw a couple of kids they didn't have no helmets on. I know the number 2. He didn't have his helmet on. I don't know what that would happen.
I don't know if you're in taking your helmet off on the field is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but I don't know if that would be an ejection. But those are the 2 no-nos: throwing a punch and leaving the bench to assist in a fight. So if there's none of that on the film, I don't think anybody will get ejected. I saw them throw the flags, get the coaches together, and they ended the game. So if they review it, they review it. I hope for the sake of both teams. East Gaston's, going to host Shelby next week. That's a big one for both teams. And then Burns has got to go to Shelby. And, if you throw a punch, you're done for 2 games. So that's really going to hurt either one of those teams. facing Shelby. So, hopefully for the sake of the game, nobody did. But, to be honest with you, Steve, I couldn't tell. I don't know. And I'm just hoping that no ejections come out of that.
Well, Tom, another thing, too, if more than 3 players come off the sideline, the whole team then is penalized and ejected from the playoffs. And that's what spurred this thing that happened in the NC legislature a couple of years ago. A team we'll not name got ejected from the playoffs. And so the legislator from that district filed a bill at that time. It did not pass at that time, but it's later revived, and that's what happened to Q Tucker in the North Carolina High School Athletic Association this past session. Was they were paying for some previous grievances on the part of certain teams. I'll put it that way.
If you throw the entire team out for 3 players, I understand, for safety, you have to do it. I understand if a guy comes off the bench, you got to kick him out of the game. You got to suspend him. You can't come off the bench. I think maybe if you reviewed the film and the guy came off the bench to pull one of his guys back, I think common sense should prevail. But you're not allowed. In baseball, we do it every year for the clinics, and in soccer, you cannot leave the bench during an altercation. So I don't know if it was 3 guys, Dennis. I don't know if it was 1. It was a big mass of guys. It was not on our sideline. I didn't see any of our guys run across the field. And I'll admit, and everybody will admit, it just wasn't a good look. It's not a good way to end that football game for either program. And I hope this will be a teachable moment both coaches can take advantage of and go over with their players.
All right, Tom.
We had a situation like that too in Shelby. On our very last play, one of the Bessemer City kids kept on blocking one of our defensive players, and don't know what really started it, but looked like he was trying to hold him, but the play was already over with. So I'm glad the cooler heads prevailed, but that could have been in that situation too, because sometimes teams like that, the losing teams get mad and see they ain't got nothing. They have nothing to lose. And if one of your players get ejected, he's one of your main players. It'll really hurt you.
Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. I'm glad it didn't come to that game. But I think Kevin's got a couple more that want to call in. So Kevin, I appreciate it, and I know you guys got to finish up the score, so I'll let you go.
All right. Yeah. All right, Tom. Thank you. We'll talk more about it in the morning. All right. We've got to talk to Chip Carter here. Chip was out at the East Rutherford game tonight, and East Rutherford wins 42-37 over RS Central in Rutherford County. Will, I was about to get up and let you have that. You didn't have to get up there. I was going to sit right here, but that's all right. Chip's in the seat.
Thank you, Will. That's awfully nice of you, my friend.
42-37, and back and forth game between the two. RS Central led 37-28. And 2 touchdowns later, East Rutherford wins there at the end. Tell us exactly how that happened there.
It was not at all what any of us were expecting to see in this game this evening. RS has had trouble producing consistent offense from what we had seen all season long. East Rutherford has not had that problem. Obviously got lost to Hendersonville in overtime last week, but still was able to put points on the board. RS hung tight. Started out sloppy in the first quarter, but they hung tight. Had a couple of East Rutherford had a couple of turnovers in the second quarter. RS was able to capitalize on that, and so went into the half with a close game. And RS actually had the lead. RS Central actually had the lead at halftime, and then they extended that lead in the third quarter. And we went into the fourth. And RS had a drive, and opening play of the drive. They were on East Rutherford side, or they were on their own side of the field, and running back had a long run for a touchdown and extended it to a 2-score game. And you're sitting here in the fourth quarter, you're like, this could actually happen.
Is this the play you're talking about right here?
Let me take a look here and see.
Long run from
Marcus Logan. Yes, that's Marcus. Thank you very much. Marcus Logan with the long run. Sorry for the very, very poor camera work there. I was trying to keep up with them to get a good view. But yeah, I took it all the way to the house. That was their first. It was their second drive in the fourth, I believe. But that was their first play of that second drive. Both teams had held each other. Both teams' defenses had held each other. So Logan did that, and at that point you're thinking, wow, you got under 7 minutes to go. RS has got a 2-score game. This looks like this could actually happen. And then the very next, I was actually posting the touchdown run. The very next opening kickoff, East Rutherford C.J. Jackson ran the kickoff all the way back, and that was a huge momentum turner for the entire game. East Rutherford's like, we're right back in this thing. We just got to hold RS one more time, which they did. And then they drove the length of the field. I think they had RS with a 3-and-out, and then they got the ball back, drove the ball for about 4 minutes almost, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and you see Brandon Pinkerton takes it in, gives them their first lead since the first half, and that ends up being the difference, 42-37. Very impressive game by both teams. RS was definitely, we've seen them a few times this year, definitely the best game they've played all year long. East coming through with the win obviously is a good thing. I told Paul and Jonathan Bland, JB, after the game, if I'm Philip Russ, though, 2 weeks ago, we were looking at East Rutherford. They were getting better every week, it seemed like. They were just continued to improve, especially the win after the win over Chase really seemed to catapult them, and then really got kind of had a sloppy game, got a little tentative and got tense at the end of the game last week against Hendersonville, and then similar miscues here in this game. If I'm Philip Russ, this is not how. And next week's going to be a big game for them. They need to beat Polk really to help their playoff chances. So if I'm Philip Russ, I'm trying to get these guys to refocus, and they're not trending in the right direction the past couple weeks in terms of how they're playing going into the playoffs.
Well, looking at the conference, Brevard's 4-0, Polk County's 3-0, East Rutherford 3-2, Hendersonville 2-2, Chase 1-2, RS Central 1-4, and Patton 0-4. So that East Rutherford Polk County game will be huge. Next week on Waggy, we've got Polk at East Rutherford, and then finishing up the season, Central at Chase. So we'll have that big matchup next week here on KTC Broadcasting. Polk County, did they not play tonight, or
Polk, no, Chase. They sort of didn't. They sort of didn't play tonight. Chase
they did not play tonight. That is correct.
Chase had a statement game today. 70. They put up 70 on Polk.
Yeah, I don't
Did
think
you hear anything about
expected that one, did they?
About the coaching change up at East Rutherford? Anybody say anything about that?
No, sir. I wasn't aware of any. I hadn't heard anything.
I thought maybe, I don't want to speculate, but there was a coaching change at East Rutherford this week.
Do we know what it was or what had occurred?
I mean, I know who it was, but I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I had not heard anything.
All right, guys, we only got a few more minutes in the show. I think we've been through almost all the highlights. I'm going to drop back. Here, Chip, I want you to sit here. You come all the way up here. You can read the scores.
Okay. Yes, sir.
We'll put him a little bit to work. I'm gonna make sure that I haven't got all the any highlights I haven't missed. I don't think I have missed any. Folks, we've got go to What's Up Shopper and KTC Broadcasting Twitter pages. We've got highlights of 7 games this week, and so we've had a good week. So of course, this is my nomination again for play of the night, guys. I don't know if some of you seen it, but this
I heard this on the radio on the way over here.
But this touchdown catch right over the shoulder.
That's impressive.
Right.
Wow.
The pass is great. The catch is great. The stiff arm was great.
I mean, he puts it right in his stride. I'm like you, Kevin. I like the I like the catch, but that pass, he threw it right in stride and everything.
That's Ben Mooney with a touchdown pass. That's my play of the week, my nomination. But I think we've got all the highlights. It's time to read the scores and then get out of here, guys. KTC Broadcasting this weekend. We've got NASCAR racing from Vegas, playoff racing. We've got Tar Heel football and more. But I'll let Chip start handling this. And Will, you want to get in here on some scores or not? No? You good? All right. Chip's gonna take care of it. All right, Chip.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah, he be letting them roll. Go ahead, Chip.
Breathe. All right, let's take a look here. Burns defeats East Gaston 56-42. West Lincoln 54. West Caldwell 14. Cherryville wins a close one against Thomas Jefferson 22-21. East Rutherford defeats RS Central in a close one 42-37. Shelby shuts out Bessemer City 64-0. Crest almost shuts out Forest View 42-7. Bishop McGinnis 26. Mountain Island Raptors 21. We don't have anything on Winston-Salem Prep and Christ the King. Love that bell in the background. Pine Lake Prep 60, Carver 44, Starmount 35, East Wilkes 6, Mountain Heritage 28 defeats Mitchell 28-14. Hayesville shuts out Cherokee 17-0. Lincolnton 42 over East Burke 42-14. Bandy's 34, Newton Conover 20. Bunker Hill defeats Maiden 49-9. Chase statement win against Polk County 70-26. Brevard shuts out Patton 48-0. Lake Norman Charter almost shuts out. I about lost it. Who is that? Union County 48-7. Golly bun, they had to put this on here. TC Robertson defeats my alma mater, Irwin, 27-7. The Bucking Elks lose to Allegheny 24-21. North Stanley 68, South Stanley 6. Madison defeats Avery 40-20. Robbinsville defeats Andrews 36-19. Swain defeats Murphy 37-13. South Point 49, Ashbrook 14. Kings Mountain with a statement win against Kramer 51-3. What we were expecting. North Gaston 21, Hunter Huss 14. It's a statement that they put 50 over 50 on the board. How about that? Hickory Red Tornadoes 51, West Iredale 27. East Lincoln 55, St. Stephen's 13. Statesville defeats North Iredale 60-28. North Lincoln defeats Ford 50-14. Watauga 41, High Brighton 21. Tuscola in the big Haywood County showdown. Tuscola defeats Pisgah 27-10. Freedom defeats Ashe County 38-22. Inca defeats North Buncombe 28-20. And Smoky Mountain 21, Franklin 19.
All right, we'll hop back in there. Final thoughts, guys, going in after this week. Real quick, looking at the that is the Lincoln and Bell and band you guys are hearing on the radio.
I really like hearing that bell ring.
Will want to hear the bell, so I got it on repeat. It's just playing around, just ding, ding, ding. Steve, at some point, would you just walk over and
more
kick
tambourine,
that bell
please?
off its hinges? You hear it enough.
More cowbell.
Well,
It's that Lincoln, no comment.
If you beat them, they don't ring the bell. You know that?
Yeah.
If you beat them, they can't ring the bell. I was on the last Cherville team to beat Lincoln too.
Huh.
Ooh, the records.
So you got.
That's 2. I had a pick and a touchdown catch in that game.
Oh wow. Oh boy.
Would have had 2 picks if I could catch. It went right through my hands. The first one was a little hot, a little slant. I was like, I better be ready on the next
Chipper,
one.
I bet we need to see some of these highlights.
I got the next one.
I wonder if they still got that film over there.
Jeff, I think Jeff's got the highlight.
Y'all had Huddle when you was there, right?
No, Lord, no. We had VHS still. Yeah. Jeff's got the VHS of that game. Andre said because he posted like some videos of that year or a few years ago. So we had to ask him about that because I got to get that touchdown pass on there. I'm gonna pull it. We'll show that we'll put that on the intro. That'll be on the intro. But I'd love to have my touchdown catch against Lincoln and
Steve. You
and
can
then the
show
pick.
the score.
I was proud of the pick.
Yeah, hey, you started this problem.
Yeah, y'all started this problem.
Well, what was the score though?
In which one?
When you scored the last touchdown against Shelby.
Well, that was like 60-6.
I rest my case, Steve.
Thank you.
I didn't throw a pick that game. Well, I might have. It depends if the tight end ran the wrong route.
And Reverend said, and that's the end of the story.
You threw a pick, but it wasn't your fault. It was tight end ran the wrong route.
I will say 2 of them were my fault the year. The other ones were him. I'm talking Will. I'll say it, Barrett Bradshaw. You were awful. You couldn't catch, and you never ran the right route. Steve, Will, we had 2 routes. Go run 10 yards and look left or look right. That's all he had to do, and he ran the wrong one half the time. I don't know how many times I whizzed a ball by his head, him looking this way, and he's supposed to be going on the inside. That's practice and stuff. I'm just like, you're awful. He's awful.
You tell him to go one way, and you throw the ball the others.
It was. But he's the one that caught the touchdown pass against Shelby. That's why it was so amazing. When I threw it, I was like, there ain't no way he's catching that. And then I got hit by like 12 people. And then I saw him catch it. I was laying on the ground, and I saw his hands up and catch it, and it was a miracle. So that's how it went.
And there you have it.
I had one for Cherville, but my tight end knocked the pass down, throwing it to the wide receiver.
So you say we had 12 people on the field.
I don't know how many people y'all on the field. They all hit me at once.
Including the cheerleaders.
But the Cherville game, I had the deep post wide open. I went to throw it, and the tight end running across the other way thought it was him, reached up one hand and tipped it. And I had the guy standing in the end zone like this, waiting on it. So I would have had one for Cherville too, but dumb tight ends. I can't do nothing with these tight ends. Y'all got to do something. We got to do something with these boys.
You got to loosen up your tight end.
Yeah. We don't have any.
They messed up all my good plays. All right, all 3 of them. All right, next week on the broadcast.
Moving right along.
Real quick, number one, top 5 next week. Hickory stays 1, Kings Mountain stays 2, Crest stays 3, Bunker Hill stays 4, and a new number 5 in the power poll. The West Lincoln Rebels will move to number 5.
Terry Reinhardt will be
in the power poll. We'll talk about that tomorrow
He'll
morning.
be on here in the morning. He'll be talking so much.
He'll be the first one here.
I mean,
All right, guys, we got to
gracious.
go. Thanks for listening to the CSI Mechanical Scoreboard of Shelby show, postgame show, KTCBroadcasting.com.
You're listening to The Boss, WHS, Shelby, North Carolina, your big sports stations, online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
From the time I fall asleep till the morning comes, I dream about you, baby. And I feel alright, 'cause I know tonight I'll be with you, baby. And who makes me feel like smiling when the weary day is through? You, baby, no one but you, baby, nobody but you. You, baby, no one but you, baby, nobody but you. They say candy is sweet, but it just can't compete with you, baby. You got everything I need, and nobody can please like you do, baby. Nobody but you. And who believes that my wildest dreams and my craziest schemes will come true? You, baby, no one but you, baby, nobody but you. You, baby, no one but you, baby, nobody but you. A little ray of sunshine